It seemed as good as a done deal that Carlo Ancelotti would become the Brazil manager this summer, with Real Madrid very much looking at other alternatives. Yet reports late on Tuesday explained that there has been a breakdown in negotiations between the Selecao and the Italian coach, who they have pursued twice in the last 3 years. Ancelotti looks as if he will be moved on by Real Madrid this summer, with many expecting Xabi Alonso to take the reins at the Santiago Bernabeu. However, the timing was an awkward question. Real Madrid end the season on the 25th of May, and are back in action on the 18th of June in the Club World Cup, leaving them just 24 days between the two competitions, and talk of Santiago Solari, Real Madrid's director of football, taking over on an interim business. Ancelotti looks as if he will be moved on by Real Madrid this summer, with many expecting Xabi Alonso to take the reins at the Santiago Bernabeu. However, the timing was an awkward question. Real Madrid end the season on the 25th of May, and are back in action on the 18th of June in the Club World Cup, leaving them just 24 days between the two competitions, and talk of Santiago Solari, Real Madrid's director of football, taking over on an interim business. What are Brazil saying about the deal? Brazil want Ancelotti to come in this June, before the Club World Cup, to take charge of their South American World Cup qualifiers against Ecuador and Paraguay, and their agreement with Ancelotti hinges on that being the case. As per Cadena Ser, the Brazilian Football Confederation, CBF, say that they have not negotiated with Real Madrid, only with Ancelotti, but they were left incredulous by Real Madrid's desire to hang on to Ancelotti for the Club World Cup. Marca go on to say that the CBF believe it is also partly down to Ancelotti wanting his significant redundancy package. Another irritation for Brazil is that Ancelotti does not want to live in Brazil, something they do not understand, even though the Italian gave the example of Argentina manager Lionel Scaloni, who lives in Majorca. Cadena Ser spoke to Ancelotti's friend and journalist Alberto Cerruti, who explained that Ancelotti would like to win the Club World Cup and La Liga in the final stages of the season. He notes that Ancelotti does not want to ruin relations with Real Madrid, and thus is respecting the wishes of Los Blancos and President Florentino Perez. He is keen to leave on good terms. Cerruti goes on to say that the key domino is Real Madrid saying to Ancelotti that they do not want him to continue, at which point he would negotiate an exit, otherwise he will continue on. Real Madrid say they have not put any obstacles in the way of Ancelotti, allowing him to negotiate with Brazil freely, as per Marca. The problem is that Ancelotti does not want to sign a deal while under contract with Los Blancos, which could prove legally problematic, and Real Madrid do not want to release him just yet. Real Madrid do not understand why Ancelotti has said no to Brazil so far though. They believe that Brazil would announce the agreement, something which would be damaging for the club given they are competing for La Liga in the final month of the season. It did frustrate some at Valdebebas that Ancelotti arrived late to training after negotiating with Brazil, and the feeling is that some of the staff are already focused on their next steps. At the time of writing, Ancelotti is not in line to take charge of Brazil, who have agreed terms with Jorge Jesus in case they could not bring in the Italian. MD say that Ancelotti has an offer from Saudi Arabia too, which could be a possible avenue for him if he is not to sign with Brazil or continue at Real Madrid. That offer would supposedly be worth €50 million per season, 5 times what he would earn with. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more Real Madrid news. La Liga giants Real Madrid have late on Tuesday announced yet another blow on the personnel front. This comes amid confirmation that David Alaba is set for an incoming spell on the sidelines. Injury news, for those not aware, has dominated the headlines in Spain's capital across the day to date. This comes after Real Madrid confirmed that both Antonio Rudiger and Ferland Mendy have been ruled out for the remainder of the campaign, owing to respective knee and thigh problems. And as alluded to above, on Tuesday evening, a third impending absence in Carlo Ancelotti's backline has been announced, too, as per a statement across Los Blancos' website and social media platforms. Following tests carried out on David Alaba by the Real Madrid medical department, the player has been diagnosed with a ruptured internal meniscus in his left knee. Though Real Madrid have not confirmed the expected length of Alaba's absence, reports suggest that the Austrian's season can be considered as over, as per a statement across Los Blancos' website and social media platforms. Following tests carried out on David Alaba by the Real Madrid medical department, The player has been diagnosed with a ruptured internal meniscus in his left knee. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more Real Madrid.